So please, once this thing stops, let me know. So now, like I said, Pandas is like a library where that has functions that can use to manipulate our data. So we use Pandas for manipulation. So they provide they provide main categories to manipulate data. Let me delete this. And the data you want to manipulate, please look up now. The data you want to manipulate has to be a data frame. Data frame means it has to be two-dimensional. Two-dimensional. If something is two-dimensional, that's the horizontal and the vertical, right? So the vertical are the columns, right? And the horizontal are the what? Rows. So in essence, now we can start talking about tables. You understand what I'm talking about now? Mr. Charles, are you with me? So there are some that are actually one dimensional too. You can actually use it to manipulate one dimensional data. So usually works with dictionary to convert them back to tables. Now you understand when we're talking about dictionary that I said it is from dictionaries we can get our tables. Abi? I said dictionary has what keys and what values. Abi? That the keys are going to be the headers and the values are going to be the things under the what under the headers. You understand? If you notice, this is what this is this is a dictionary. A dictionary has a curly bracket, it has a key, the name of this key is name, and it will involve what a list, and this list has a lot of people's names. Are you with me? Then I have age, then I have what city. So this is going to have how many columns? Three columns, abi? Name, age, and what city. So this is a dictionary. So now the first thing when you want to use Pandas, I said it is a library, right? So before you start using it, before you can start doing anything, even when you start doing your data analysis or with Python, you first have to import the library. So when you import the library into your workspace, then you can start using the functions of the library. You understand? So the first thing I will do is look at it. These are all comments. You understand? These are comments, they are not codes. But look at this one. This one is not a comment. This one is a code, right? So the first thing I want to do is what? I will import what? Pandas as what? PD. So I've imported this. Once I do that, I'll run. So like that, I've imported Pandas into my workspace. You understand? So I can just, this is the only code inside this whole thing. So I can run this.
So how did you import it?
Just write it like that and
Okay,
run it.
import Pandas.
Yes. So once you do that, it will run. So it has brought Pandas into your workspace. So I can start using the whole thing. Now look at it. I can use my Pandas in changing a dictionary to a table. I can use what? Pandas in changing what? A dictionary to what? A table. So now look at this. This is a dictionary. The name of the dictionary is a data. It's called data, right? Look at it. This is a dictionary. This is not yet a table, right? This is a dictionary. Now, if I run this, I'm coming. Let me have it like this. Now look at this. This is the data frame. This is the sorry. This is the what dictionary, right? This is the dictionary. The name of the dictionary is called what? Data. Now, if I want to convert it to a table, what is the name of the table I want to convert it to? I want to name that table DF. I can decide to name my table anything, abi? But we are calling it what? DF. So the function that I use in converting what? A data frame, sorry, a dictionary to a table is PD. And PD is what? Pandas, right? Because we already imported what? Pandas as what? PD. So I said the function we are going to be using is what? PD dot what? Data frame. That is, we are converting it to what? A two-dimensional array. I said data frame is what? A two-dimensional what? Array of rows and what? Columns. So now I'm converting it to what? two-dimensional array. So from here now, I'm using pandas dot data frame. And what is the name of my dictionary? Data. Yes. It's recording. Have you seen it? This. What is the name of my dictionary? Data. So if the name of my dictionary is something else, that is what I'm going to be putting inside this place, right? And this is where the conversion will take place. This is me storing the dictionary, right? I've not done anything. Now this line is me doing what? Converting it to what? To a table. So if I want to see my table now, then you know the name of the table is what? df. If I call out df now, have you seen the table? Have you seen it? So now if you look at it, name is what? Now an header, right? Name is now what? An header. Since the name is now an header, good afternoon. What are the names under this? Alice, Bob, Charlie, David. So now I have the city. You understand the whole process now, Abby? Now, so you can look at another one. I don't want to call this df. Someone should give us a name. Another one again. We're trying to create another one. No, let's use ijan. So now look at another dictionary. Look at it. This is another dictionary. It has name, it has ID, right? It has ID, it has department, salary. Then it has the salary. So now this line of code is used to do what? Convert that what? Dictionary to what? So what is the code to convert a dictionary to a table? pd.data frame, have you? pd.data frame, then you put the name of the dictionary inside, right? Our dictionary is called what? X. That is why we have X here. For the first one, our dictionary is what? Data. So I can now save. And the name of my table now is what? ijan, right? I want to store it with ijan, so I can call out ijan. If I call it out now, you see this is working, right? This is how our table will be coming out. Are you getting it? This is how our table will be coming out. Now, how do we call out? Let's say I want to see this name column. I want to see the ID column only. I want to see the department column. I want to see the salary column. The name of this table is called what? ijan. Abi? The name of this table is called what? ijan. So I want to see, look at something. I want to see this ID column and I want to call it Y. This ID column, I want to call it Y. Don't forget that the name of our table is what? ijan, right? Since the name of our table is ijan, it's not df. So we use ijan. Do you understand? We use ijan. So I'll put ijan, then I'll put the name of what? The column I want inside. Do you understand? Do you understand? So if I run that, I've stored y to be equal to this particular column. So if I call out y, this is what will be coming out. Do you understand? What is the data type of y? So if I choose this, what's the data type? Can you see? Pandas data frame. Do you understand? Do you understand? So I'm coming. I want to call out, if you want to call out 2 or more columns, not 2 columns now. Not only 1 column. I want to see 2 or more columns. What will I do? Let me call that column. Let me just save it as Z. So Z now is what? Instead of having only 1, I will now have what? 2. I want to see the ID department and I want to see what? Sorry, I want to see the ID and the what? So if I want to see 3, I'll just put the next one beside it. Do you understand? It's great. So now, look at it. Look at our table.
That means the more you put, the bracket gets...
Yeah, exactly. It gets longer. So if I wanted to see salary too, I want to see ID, the department, and the salary. What I would do here is to put ID, department, comma, then I'll put what? Salary. But if you notice, everything is in what? Quotation. Please don't forget. Everything is in what? Quotation. So I can do that and I'll have my whole thing. So now, look at another one. we have another dictionary: student, age, country, course, marks. So this line of code is doing what? It's converting this dictionary to a table, right? This is dictionary. It will convert it to a table, and the conversion is using what? PD dot what? Data frame. PD dot what? Data frame. And you put the name of this dictionary. The name of this dictionary is what? A. That's why I'm putting A inside. So the name of dictionary is disgrace. I would have put what? Disgrace inside. So now, then I can run this. If I call it out, sorry, why am I having error? Because I didn't run this one. I have to run the first one, Abby. I have to save A, then I'll use A here. Do you understand? So now if I wanted to view some other things inside, maybe I wanted to see the country and I wanted to see the course, I would have put country and course here, right? Then I'll see the two. Are you getting it? So now, sorry, I know that. Now, I want to talk about this lock and iLock. What is the meaning? Now, lock is used to select values of a table using the column name and the row name. Using what? So now, for instance, if I have the lock and I choose the F1, what was the F1? This is the F1, Abby. This is the F1, Abby. So if I put column name and the row name, Abby, the row label and the column label, sorry. So what is, if I say row 1 column course, what is going to be the answer? Data structures, Abby, that point of intersection. So if I say row 3 mark, sorry, if I say row 3 then column mark, so what's going to be the answer? So if I want to see a particular point of intersection in a table, I can use lock. You understand? So I can use lock to do that. You understand? So that was what they did here. I'm coming. Let me see if, sorry, let's see our the F1. Let's call it out so we'll be able to see it. Now look at it. Look at it. They said the F1 dot lock. Then the first thing you put inside it is what? The row label. What is the row label? They use row label 1. And what is the column label? Course, Abby. So row label 1 and course. What's going to be the answer? If I run this, I have data structures. Do you understand? Now, iLock is another form of lock, but in this case, we use the index of the rows and columns in question. So that instead of using the row number and the column I use there is course, Abi. Course is column number what? No, this is column number 0, column number 1, column number 2, column number what? 3. You understand? So I'll be using their index number because this one is already in index. That's why I'm not changing it. You understand? This is already what? In index. So I'll be using column number what? Column number 1. Abi? Sorry, row number 1, column number what? 3. And it's still going to give me what? Data structure. You understand? So that is the difference between lock and iLock. So the I in front is going to be what? Index. Abi? So we are using the index number, not the name of the header. If it was this one, you use the name. Abi? I use course because course is what I have here for lock. So for iLock, I won't be using the name of the header. It is the position of that what? Header. And the position is the third position because you start from what? 0 position. Do you understand? So now, what if there are some cases where our data set we don't have index. We don't have this index, this particular thing. It was Python that brought it out itself from our dictionary. Do we have this? Abi? So Python brought it out to show to a serial number. But what if a case that you don't need that? I want what is on my what? On my dictionary. Abi? And what's on my dictionary? The first thing that should be there, and I want to use it as my index, is the student. Abi? The student should be the first thing there, right? So I can set the student as the index. So what is the name of, how do I set the student to be my index? The name of my data is what? df1, Abi? So I will say the new df1 is the former df1, Abi? Dot set index to be what? Do you understand? Set student to be what? Student. So if it was country, I wanted to be index, I would have said what? Set index, set underscore index to be what? Country. So if I run this now, and I run this, can you see? Our student is now what? The index. On the same line as how? Because age is here. That's here, that's right. So now, look at this. So now, if I want to do log, my log now would involve the name of the what? Person and the header of the person, right? Do you understand? No, before it was 0, 1, 2, 3 that was here. So if I wanted to use log, I was using number here, Abi. But now, what will I use? The name and what? The mark, Abi. So if I say log Terry marks, what will I have? Terry marks 89. Do you understand? So now, look at the case where you know the name of the person. I know that you want to check the mark of the person. You can just use log. On your table, even using data analysis, I can use log. So we are using ilog, we are using log. Those are the functions you start using now. So you have a table that consists of the people's name. Welcome. You have a table that has the people's name, their mark, their department. So if you want to check their department, what will you do? You use log, comma, the person's name, comma, then department. Do you understand? Do you understand? So now, what do we do again? We use our log and ilog to slice our table. We use our log and ilog to slice our table. Now, what do we mean by slicing? What do we mean by slicing? So look at this. I don't want to get the whole table. So let me bring it back. So we'll be able to see our, look at it. What I want is, please look up. I want a table. This is our index now. This is our index. I want a table that would show this index, the age, and the course. Do you understand? The student, the age, and the course. Sorry, the student, the age, and the country. So what I want is, and what I want is that I want it from here. I don't want to show Evan, and I don't want to show USA. I just want the first 3 here. Do you understand? Only this part. So I want to slice out this part. How do I do that? I want to slice out this part. So what do I do? Now we can use log and ilog to slice tables into the preferred new data frame that we want. Notice it's going to be a new table, right? Right? So how do I get this table, this new table that I need? From the whole table. So we can use the ilog. So we state the start place and the stop. The start of the, this is the start of the what? This is the start of the rows, and this is the start of the row, stop of the row, start of the column, stop of what? The column. Do you understand? Start of the row, stop of the row, start of the column, stop of the column. So now using what? ilog. So now the F1, the function is going to be, okay, let me just do something like this. That this new table, let me call it a name. Someone should give us something we should call it. Let me call it R. So our R now is equal to this. is equal to that the f1 dot I log. What is the start of the row? I want to start from the first row, right? And I want to stop on the what? This is row 1, row 2, row 3, abi? Row 3. But if you notice, this is going to be row what? 0, row 1, row 2, abi? Row 3. Don't forget, if you are taking a range in Python, you will remove 1 from the last one, right? Abi? That's why we are going to say from 0 to what? 3. In normal context, we're going to take from 0 to what? 2. You remember? Do you remember?
Yes.
You remember that
That's
one?
one.
Mr. Charles, you remember, Abi? So now, from 0 to 3, it means I'll be taking the 0th position, the first position, and the second position. I will not take that third position. I will remove 1, Abi? So now, this is the 0th position, the first position, and the what? Second position. You understand? So that is the end. So how many columns am I taking? I'll start from the first column, Abi? This is the 0th column, Abi? First column, because stopping at 2, I'll just take the 0th and the what? First. You understand what I'm saying now? The 0th and the what? First. So this is going to be, so if I call out R now, I'm missing R. Mr. Shegun, do you understand? You are following, but you are getting it little by little. Okay. Thank God it's recording. So once this thing finish recording, I'll find a way to just put it on my YouTube today, so you can go there and download it. So now I have this. I have R. Thank God you understand that. What if I want to use lock? I don't want to use I lock. Abi? You remember now? What's the difference between I lock and lock? Lock, you'll be using the headers of the whole table, right? But I lock, you'll be using the index number, right? So for lock now, I want to call that one what? I want to call it I want to take from David to Terry, right? So I'll say df1.lock David to what? Terry. That's the rows I'm taking. And the columns I'm taking is going to be from what? Age to what? Max. So I can run this. So now, don't let me use age to max. Let me use age to course. Age to course. So let me run that. Have you seen it? Age to what? Course. So I'm taking some selected part of the what? Of the table. Do you understand? I have another. So for the sake of Mr. Shegun, you remember dictionary? Abi? You remember? So this is a dictionary, Abi? So there's something called Pandas. You've heard of it?
No.
Okay, so Pandas is a library that we use in manipulating data. Abi? So it is that Pandas library that we use to convert this dictionary to a table. Do you understand? So if you want to start your Python, you have to import that Pandas first. That's the first thing we'll do. Look at it. We already imported the Pandas. And we import it as what? PD. You understand? So anywhere you want to use it, you can use PD. Instead of writing Pandas F4, you can use what? PD. This is not, if you look at it, this is a code section, not a mainframe, right? So I can run this. All these ones, they are just what? Comments. The only code that is there is this one, Abi? So if I run it, it will run. And to have imported the library. So I can start using Pandas library and the functions of Pandas. So far I've imported it. If you have not imported it and you start using those PD, it will not work well. So you have to import it first. And to import it is nothing. Just shift enter auto, it has imported. So now, Miss Grace, hope you are listening now. Miss Grace, okay. So now, look at this data frame. Sorry, look at this dictionary. The name of this dictionary is what? Data. So that's basically what I've been explaining since morning. The name of this data frame dictionary is called what? Data. If I want to convert it to a table, the name of the table I want to convert it to is df. That's the name of the table. So how do I convert it? The name of the table now is equals to PD. What is PD? Pandas, Abi? So this is the function name. Pandas.dataframe. That is the function I use in converting what? A dictionary to what? A table. So pandas.dataframe. I open a bracket and I'll put the name of my what? Dictionary inside. So the name of my dictionary is something else. That is the same thing I'll be putting inside. Do you understand? And once I do that and I call out that dictionary, have you seen it? Look at it. Name. The name is now what? The header. What are the lists inside this particular key? Alice, Bob, Charlie, David. Do you understand? What are the age? 25, 30, 35, 40. Can you see? This is now a table. This is how our table, even if you import table from your Excel, this is how it's going to look like. Do you understand? So that's basically what we've been saying since. So let's continue. So what are the things we can do with what? Our table. So now look at this. Look at this. I can find the mean, the maximum, the minimum, all those things. I can find in Python. And how do I find the mean? How do I find the mean? The mean of anything. Now, please, I need you to look at this. How do I find the mean? If you look at it, this is the function for the mean. I said if you want to call out a table, sorry, a column from a table. If you want to call out a column from a table, you know what the table is here. And that table has a lot of things. Look at it. That's this, that's name, age, city. If I want to call out the age only, what will I do? Here, square brackets, then I'll put age. If I run this, I'll only see what? Age. Do you understand? I'll only see what? Age. So if I want to find the minimum age, I'll call out the age, Abby, dot mean. That is the function to find the mean. That's why here now they said df, Abby, age dot what? Mean. So if they want to find the maximum, what do they do? df, age dot what? Max. Do you understand? Do you understand? So if I want to find the minimum age in a particular column, you understand how you're going to do it, right? So what do we want to do? What they want to do, they use print, Abby. And if I use print and I put all these ones, it's going to come out like that, Abby. So now I have aggregation and summary statistics, but that's what I have here, Abby. Colon, Abby. Average age is still a colon, Abby. Average age, because this one is in quotation, right? Then I have the next thing that will be in front is what? Now, df age dot mean. That is the mean of all these ages, which is what? The next one I want to print again is what? Maximum. This dot max. The maximum age is what? 40. Because we use what? Dot what? Do you understand? Do you understand? Nothing is inside. Nothing is inside. You don't need to put anything inside. Do you think you need to put anything inside? No. What do you want to put inside? You are telling us that just find the mean of this what? Of this age. Find the max of what? Of this age.
What about the media?
You have done something like that too.
That SQL, we wanted to give us a question.
So okay, no. I even forgot to, and I saw the solution somewhere. So now that is how we sort that one. Don't worry, we're actually going to be doing a lot of. Look at this. What if I want to sort the age? I want to see this table, but I want it like in such a way that the age is sorted, like maybe from the highest to the lowest. You understand? Maybe it was in SQL. I can just double click on this part. It will sort, Abby. So how do I do that? So that one that is sorted, let me call it another name. Called what? Sorted df. A new name. That is, I don't want to tamper with this df that I have. You understand? I don't want to tamper with it. I want to leave this df like this. But that one that is sorted, I want to call it another name. You understand? So the name of that one is called what? Sorted what? Df. So sorted df is what? Df dot sort values. Df dot what? That is the function. That is df dot what? Sort values. Then I open a bracket. What am I sorting by? Age. Am I sorting ascending? No. So if it was ascending will be equal to what? True. Because I'm sorting what? Descending. Ascending is what? False. So if I run this, I'll have this. Python is getting interesting. Right? But if you have not done all those boring things, no, you don't understand this. Mr. Cham, is it going? Small. So now let's continue. How do I add a new column? I want to add a new column. What I'll just do, because I know the name of my table. The name of my table is what? DF. And I want to add the salary column. I want to add what? So what will I do? So I'll just say DF, then salary, that is the new one, Abi. If I wanted to call out a column, what would I do? DF, age, Abi. So what I'm saying now is DF, I want to bring in salary. You understand? DF just salary. Then I will put in the list of all the salaries. Do you understand? The list of all the salaries. My salary must be how many? 4, right? Look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's complete, right? So if I run this, can you see?
What if there's a case whereby you can't say the amount of salaries that
Why won't you be able to do that?
Maybe you have a more than 4.
Maybe you have 1,000.
yeah.
You would have had the list of the 1,000 now. If you want to add a new column.
Yeah.
It's only if you want to add the calculated column. That one is different. You understand? If you want to add the calculated column, like when we were doing a profit, which is sales price minus cost price. You know that one, the 2 columns that you want to use to get your profit is there already. You understand? But what might just be what we can have is that in some cases you might have something like this. Maybe some people's salary they are missing. You understand? You just leave a space for them. You understand? You just leave a space for them there. So now, grouping, group by function in SQL.
So I still don't get that salary part. What I'm trying to say is, you said we are going to list all the salaries.
Yes.
And what if they are winning?
That is what I'm saying. This one is just for no. You can't be listing it. You can't be listing it. And if you notice, when we were doing our SQL and we didn't come across that type of problem. When we have that type of problem, the column we want to add is always a calculated column. You remember? Is maybe when they give us the sales, I want to get maybe they give us the unit price and the sales price. I want to get the total sales price. I want to multiply the two together. You understand? So now, grouping. You understand group by, right? You understand group by? SQL. Abi? And we use group by for aggregate functions. And what are the aggregate functions? Mean, maximum, minimum, abi, count, all those things. So now, how do I group by in this particular one? The name of that group by function, the name of that table that I will get after grouping by, I want to call it what? Grouped. So grouped now is equal to df dot group by. That is the function. Df dot what? Group by. What am I grouping by? City. And I'm finding what? The main. So what will I have? The city and the mean of what? The age. So now, because what I want to do is still kind of coming. Someone called already. Okay, you called me. I was not that called you, Mr. Shegun.
Oh, okay. I don't have that now.
Don't save it. I just. So, before we go to Numpy, so it's kind of boring a little bit. So that's Numpy. Numpy means numerical Python. So you are dealing with numbers. So what do we want to do? By next class now. Next class is on Friday. Next class we are starting data analysis profile. I'm not mocking you. So I'll bring in the data, how to do that, how to read data from different sections. So now, Numpy is a Python library used for working with arrays, linear algebras, Fourier transforms and matrices.
No.
So an array is similar to a list. You understand? That's why, okay, when you saw Fourier transform.
You can give for linear functions.
Exactly.
Like MATLAB.
Exactly. So now, the whole thing here now, how do I use NumPy? If I want to use NumPy in this Jupyter notebook, I want to import it too. Just like the way we imported what? Pandas. So now import NumPy as what? NP. Everybody in the whole world that have been saying they import NumPy and Pandas. People import Pandas as PD and NumPy as what? NP. So you know how to do your own. You now import NumPy as NS. So while we are doing the whole thing, instead of using NPA, what will we be using? NS. So you might be looking at it like, this person using NP, me I'm using NS. It's because we imported it as what? NS. But the normal thing that me I know, and I've not seen anybody change it, is what? NP and PD. And it has been working.
It's just like the simple application so that you always remember that.
Yes.
NumPy.
Thank you. Now, what is an array? What is the meaning of an array? An array is like a list. Look at this particular thing. Is an array. This is what? An array. So there are cases where we can have multiple arrays. So there are some operations you want to perform using all these arrays. And you can't just have them. I have a list of numbers and I want to perform some operations on them. I have to convert them to a NumPy array before I be able to operate them. Do you understand? I have to convert them to what? A NumPy array before I can start those operations on them. So now look at this. I have okay, I'm coming. I want to try something.
And then increase this. Fine.
Okay. Look at this. Do you see? I should increase it. I have an error. Look at the error message. Why do you think I have an error? Why do you think I have that error? You said what? NP is not
Then
what?
they call that first one.
I didn't bring this in. I didn't import it. So I must have done that first. Do you understand? I have a list. Look at the list. The list is what? 3, 5, Abi? 3, 7, 8. Now, what is? I want to convert this list to an array. The name of the list is what? B, Abi? And I want to convert it to an array. How do I convert a list to an array? I use what? NP dot what? Array. And what is the name of the list? B. Do you understand? I can decide to put the whole list here. Like this, I will put it here instead of writing B. You can do it anyhow. So now, if I do that and I call out A now, if I call out A now, it's not going to come out as a list again. It's coming out as what? An array. Do you understand? And I can actually see the values in my array in the same way we see the values of our list. You remember, if I want to see this value, this is A slash A bracket 0, Abi? This is 1. This one is what? 1. This one is 2. Can you see? See the same thing. And if I want to find the type, which type is A? Can you see? It's a NumPy array. Do you understand? NumPy array. Now I want to do something. I want to quickly do something. So now, the shape of the array. So there are cases where you will need to know the shape of the array. Just like our matrices. You have 2 by 2 matrix. Remember? 2 by 2 matrix. We have 2 by 3. We have 3 by 3. We have 4 by 4. 10 by 10. You understand? So our array now is how many? You count the number of rows first, Abby. How many rows? Sorry, number of columns first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 5 by 1 because they didn't write the 1. So if you didn't write anything, it means 1. You understand? So that is the shape of the array.
It's like the one is even 7.
So it's just like you have a. You understand? How many rows will be on the other side? So if it was that I had 2 things here now, I think we still have some other things. I'm coming. There are places where I had. Look at this. Look at this. This is what? 3 by 3. Do you understand? This is 3 by 3. So now let's continue with our shape. So now, what are the values? Sorry, the data type of our array. That is the values inside the array. What are the data type? They are what? Integer. Okay. So now, how do I change the value of an array? It's just the same way I change the value of a list. You remember? A of 1. What is A of 1? That is this one, 5. Abi? A of 1 is 5, Abi? You want to change it to 4. I will now say A of 1 is now what? 4. And if I run that, instead of having 5 here now, I'll have what? Do you understand? Slicing a Numpy array. Just like the way we slice list. You remember? So from 0 to 4 now, it's going to be from 0 to what? The third one. Abi, you remove 1 from the back. So the 0, 1, 2, 3. You understand? You remember? So now, another thing. I want to get something. Okay. So now, okay. So now look at it. We can slice by passing steps too. Now, look at this. Let's say I have a case where I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I want to select this first 5. But the way I want to select it, I want to select it in such a way that if I take 1, you not take 2, you take 3. You not take 4, you take 5. Have it? So I'm stepping it by 2. You understand? I'm stepping it by 2. I want to step by 3. I'm stopping at 5. I want to step by 3. So what will I take? Next.
1 and 4.
1 and 4. You understand? You understand? So I can decide that is where I want it. So now, how do we do that in Numpy?
You just add the step.
You now add the step that you want to. You understand? You add the step that you want. This is what 2. So now, look at it. If I take the first one, yeah, if I run this now, look at what we have. 3, 3. Because normally we are taking from this point to this point, right? Because the start is what? 0. The end is what? 4. Have you? Just like this one, the start is what? 0. The end is what? 4. That is, we are starting from this whole point and we are going to end there. This is what we should have normally. But because we have a step, the first one we'll be taking is what? 3. Abi? The next one we'll take is what? Because we are not going to the next one, we go to the one after that one because our step is what? By 2. So the next one we will take, there's nothing here again. So we stop here. You understand? So we can also do our slicing like that. So now we can also slice by not passing the start. By not passing the start, and numpy considers the index 0. So now, you know you're starting from 0 to 4, right? And you got this. Do you understand what I'm saying? You're starting from 0 to 4 and you got this. I can decide that I don't want to write 0. I'll just write colon 4. And I'll still have the same number, the same answer, right? Because numpy will assume that column that I didn't write anything to be what? 0. So now, if I do this, A, can you see? Do you understand?
That's column, that is root. How do you get that?
Which one? This one. This one.
You know, you brought in 34. New.
This one. Are you talking about this line?
You came down.
Yes. Okay. You come here and you press B. You must be on the command mode.
B, yeah. Then up is A.
A.
Done.
So now, instead of writing 0 to 4, I can decide to write what? To 4. So it will understand that you are starting from what? 0. So that is what they are trying to tell us here. That if you see something like this, you know it is starting from what? 0 to what? 3. So you can do this.
And it's work for the by steps also. The slicing by steps.
Yes. So now that's what they did here. Look at it. The start is what? 0. The end is what? 2. And the step is what?
0.
1.
Okay, 1.
The step is what? 1. Look at it. The step can be 1 now. Look at what the step we used here. The step we used there is what? 2. That's why it's jumping. Abi? So this next step should be what normally? 1. Do you understand?
Oh, I'm not supposed to write.
That's what I'm saying. The minimum you have, if you decide not to write it, there's no problem. It will assume the minimum. It will just go to the next one. Where are we? So a dot size. What will a dot size do? The number of values you have. You have 5 values. Then the number of dimension of the array. How many? That's just 1. Abi? 1. Because we have only one list like this. Abi? How many rows? 1. And the shape is what? 5 dots. That one. Abi? That is how we do it. I will do it again. The size is the number of columns that we have. And number of columns is what? Not number of columns per se. That is the number of values. The reason why I'm saying columns is because if you have your list like this, 1, 2, 3, I can see like this 1, 2, 3 columns, right? And that's the number of values. If you look at our A has 5 values. So I can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's why the size is what? That is the number of what elements in the what? Array. Then there's size, there's number of dimension. This is number of dimension. How many dimensions? So let's say I have something like this again. Sometimes you have something like this. Again. That would what? 2. So in this case, what's the dimension of this array? 3 by 2.
You mean the shape?
Yes. Because I have how many columns? 3. How many rows? 3. So now, because this is having 5 by 1, Abi? That is why my shape is what? 5, comma. The least I can have is 1. That's why I'm not writing what? Anything here. Do you understand?
So if you have 2 now,
It will be 5 by 2.
you will just write 1, right?
I know right, that's the answer I got out.
Okay, but like you have two
Because
numbers.
it was I had two like this. You're going to bring out 5, 2.
Okay, it writes it by itself.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought like I wanted to know the shape, to get the shape of the array. So this is how you do it. A dot what? Shape.
Can we check for two or two?
You are going
Let's
there,
what
sit down.
what you need to write.
You are still having it. I love this class. I didn't think we are going to move like this. That's good. So now look at this array again. Array B. Let me run it. Now to get the mean of this array, what do I do? So the mean, I want to call the mean. I want to name it mean. That's what I'm saying what? Mean. I can try to name this mean what? Doris. You understand? So I'm storing that mean as what? Mean. It's my choice. Thank you. So mean is B, that is this array, dot what? Dot mean. So this mean that is here is not that variable again. It's not what I studied it, but what? A function. Right? It is that function now. So it's what? B dot what? Mean. If I'm looking for the maximum, it would have been what? B dot what? Max. So the mean of that array is what? 4 point what? 428. You understand? Now, to get the standard variation, how do I do that? Standard variation, I want to store it with what? STD, right? Is what? B dot what? STD, and you open and close your bracket, and you can get that the maximum, the minimum. You understand? So now we have our B, then I have C. I have two arrays. I have B and I have another array C. How do I add the arrays together? I can only add the arrays together if what? They have the same shape. Do you get me? Look at this now. This is B. This is what? C. If you look at it, if I add them together, 5 will take what? 3. I mean, 3 will take what? 4. 7 will take what? 7. That's why you have 5 plus 3 is what? 8. 3 plus 4 is what? 7 plus 7 is what? 14. Then 5 plus 9, 4 is what? 9. 2 plus 9 is what? 11. 9 plus 2 is what? 11. 0 plus 6 is what? 11.
Do you mean shape or size? I think it needs to be size.
Size. Is it size? Is the size that okay? It's shape.
It's shape.
It must be the same shape. Size will just give you the number of what? Columns. Yeah, the number of columns and the number of rows have to be what? The same. Do you understand, Mr. Shegun? If I have another, let's assume that B has another row here. What will B must I add to?
Okay.
Do you understand? That is why it must have the same word. So how do I add two arrays together? I have array B and array C. How do I add them together? To add them, I want to have, to add them, we are going to get another array. Abi? Let us call that array D. So I'll say D is NP dot what? Add. And what are the two things I'm adding together? B and what? C. If I want to subtract NP dot what? Subtract, it will be dot what? Add again. It will be what? If it is B minus C, it will be B comma what? C. If it is C minus B, it will be C comma what?
What is the shape or the size of the first
Error
array
now.
is 10 and the size of the other array is 6? Will it work?
It will not work because it won't be able to, just like matrices. Our normal matrices, the odd matrices, that one is work. If I have 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 2, 5.
That means size matters too.
Yes, now it's the size and dimension that gave you shape.
Okay.
It is the size and dimension that gave you shape. If I want to do this in matrices, 0, 2 go because if 1 and 2 add 2 and 5, what will 3 and 4 add? So for me to add them together, it must be what? I must have another thing here. Abi? It is multiplication that the number of rows here must be equal to the number of columns. Abi?
I cannot do this thing.
But you remember it?
Yeah, sure.
You all did it. You did not do it in your university, you have done it in your secondary school. You all did it. So now, We've done subtraction. Then multiplication. The multiplication we are doing here is still the same thing. So now they want to multiply that row and that row. That's what they want to do. Do you understand? They want to multiply that row and that row. We are not doing vector multiplication now. We are just doing normal multiplication. So now what they want to do is, the first one is what? 5 and 3. 5 times 3, 15. Still based on that thing. And division, we still have it. So this is what? B divided by what? C. If it was C divided by B, you would have had it the other way round. So now, division and subtraction, you must be very careful of the first what? Of the first value. B minus C is not equal to what? C minus B. Do you understand? So 2 minus 1 is what? 1. But 1 minus 2 is what? Minus 1. You understand? But B plus C is equal to C plus what? B. B times C is equal to what? C times what? B. B divided by C is not equal to what? C divided by what? B. So you must be very, very what? Careful when dealing with all this. You remember? You remember?
No, I forgot.
I'm enjoying this class. I'm enjoying this class. Okay. I'm sorry, please. Fine, I'm in class. I'll call you back. Yes. It's physical now. Okay. So let's continue. Another thing, someone got my friend. My friend I was talking about, that I said he's only dealing with Python. That he does not know, not that he does not know. He prefers using Python for everything. He got a project yesterday of 3k euros. Just a project. Just one project. 3k euros. And he's almost done with the project. And they gave him 1 month. And he's almost done. You thought I just called me? Eh? Ah. My boy, he wants to go and buy a laptop now. It's through Connect. Like we submitted some applications, sure. But his own was on machine learning or those things. So now, so there's money.
But I know you put you do small
I'm calling him already. I'm calling him already now. Though it's not really analysis like that, but I will put my.
You get paid before the job or before you submit. So
No. He was going to finish. Though they will have like an offer. If you want something, I think they will give him the money for the data part of it. I think 20%. So now, it might not even, at the end of the day, the thing is I don't really, to me it's not the money now. What he's doing is not really something I can really do. You understand? It's more of data engineering. But I want to learn it. So that's why I'm thinking when you want to start that project, just I want to see what he's doing. So even if he has something, so if he has something else that he wants to do, so the first person that will come to his mind, or he wants to refer someone, the first person that will come to his mind, I will be the one. So the connection and the networking is very, very compulsory. It's very, very compulsory. If you are doing individuality in this thing, no. It's not going to end well. You're not even going to go far. So now, how to do dot product? You remember dot product? Dot product is when I say I want to have only one answer from 2 arrays. I want to multiply 2 arrays together, and I'll have only one answer. What will I do? Look at it. 4 times 2 plus 6 times 3. You remember? Dot product. I'll multiply this one and this one. I'll multiply this one and this one. I'll add the answer together. That is dot product. And I gave you the instance here as a comment. So 4 times 2 plus what? 6 times what? 3. So they try to find the dot product of what? Of what? P and Q. What will I do? NP dot what? Dot. So that means you are doing what? the dot product. So there are some cases where you would need to find the dot product of some things. So this is how you are going to do it. So now
Sorry, does it do cross products?
it's going to do. There are ways you do it now. This is NumPy, don't worry. So now, how do I add a constant to an array? Like, look at our array now. Our array, look at this P. I want to add 3 to all the values inside this array. If I add 3 to this one, the first value will be what? 7. And the second value will be what? 9. Have you seen it? So if I say P plus 3 to give me what? 7 and 9. Look at this second array. 2 and what? 3. If I add what? 3 to them, it's not going to be what? 5 and what? Thank you. So NumPy has pi. You remember pi now? 3.14. So if I say np.pi, it's bringing it out. So if you need pi, you want to use pi within your, you can just pi as you are doing it, np.pi. So you already understand that it is what? That's pi. You understand?
So this is the full thing.
This is the full thing. So now what we know is 3.142.
Yes.
This is the pi. This is this pi. So if I ask you pi tomorrow, please don't say 3.142. So I want you to say 3.1415925. You understand? So now, I can create an array in terms of pi now. You remember, so this is pi. Look at this. np.pi is what? 3.142, Abi?
Yes.
Then I said 3.142 over 2, which is what? 1.57, comma np.pi. np.pi is still this 3.142. You understand?
Yes.
So now, creating functions in terms of what? Look at this. np.signk. I don't want to come here. You already understand what I'm saying. Your sine function and your cosine function. So now, the thing is, you'll be using this majorly where you're dealing with data science. You understand? So when you have something like this, you must have seen it before. Our sine graph and cosine graph, all those things. So now, our function, you remember, for loop. Can we do it? We can do it with our what? Array too. So look at this. I have my e to 2467. 2467. And what did I say? For e in e. What does it mean? For all the members here, in what? E. You remember for loop now? If for loop now. I said for item in. You did not check your. What is the meaning of this? That is all these things here. I mean, so for e, what is e? Whole thing. I mean, print e. So print all the members.
I remember item.
It was because we used item.
Yes.
So I'm not using item again. I want to use what? E. So for e in e, print this. So if it was I wanted to do something like for e, you remember when we did modulus now? Where I said you should add up all the numbers that are divisible by what? 3 and what? 5. I mean, what did you use? I will not tell you what you use. Remember, go and check it. So now, we're almost done. Wow, I love this. Look at this again. The first one we did was not 2D. 2D has more. If you look at the array that we dealt with now, there was no one that we had something like this. I mean, we didn't have something like this. But look at this. Consider the following list. Look at this list. There's a list in a list. I asked you, can we have a list in a list?
Yes.
And you said yes. Right? Everything like this. 1, 2, 3. This is a list. I mean, consisting of what?
3 lists.
So this is a list consisting of how many lists? 3 lists. So what is A? I can turn this A. Is this a NumPy array? No. This is a list. Not yet what? An array. I can convert it to what? So what do I use to convert to an array? np.array. You need it all already. np.array, open bracket. What is the name of that list that I want to do? A. I'll put it inside. The The name of my numpy array now is called what? A. So if I call out A now, it has converted it to a numpy array of 3 by what? 3. How many columns? 1, 2, 3. How many rows? 1, 2, 3. Sorry.
So those important things.
You must have imported it. If I don't import this, it won't work. And I've not saved it. So now, our dimension. What did I call the dimension first? For the first one, I'm always mixing up dimension and size. So I'll refresh our memory. Our dimension is how many dimensions? 1. Abi?
Maybe dimension will be 3 for that one. Right?
Yes, it should be 3. I'm coming. Okay. Our dimension is something else. Eh?
That's right.
So now, when I say 2 dimensional, 2D. You remember? When I say 2D, when I say 3D, 3D means you are going on X, Y, and Z. I mean, 3D is like what we are saying in real life. 2D is like what you see on picture, vertical and horizontal. When architects show you your 3D drawing, they will show you the way the house is normally. You when you want to do it, I mean, the way
You
it
see
is
it physical.
physical. But when you want to see 2D, you just see everything plain. Plain, I mean, 2D. So now, even if it's having 3 lists, 4 lists, now it has 2D. The first one has only one thing, only one list. I mean, now it has what we have now is consisting of rows, columns. It's now 2. The first one is one dimensional. So now this one is what? 2 dimensional. Rows, columns. Do you understand? That is why for this, our dimension is what? 2. But our shape now, we now be what? 3 by what? And size is what? 9. How do you get our size? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So size is where we get the number of elements now. accessing different elements of an array. So now, this is column 0, column 1, column what? 2, row 0, row 1, row 2. I'll say it again. This is row 0, row 1, Abby, then row 2. So now this is what? Column 1, column 0, column 1, column 2. Now, look at this. To access elements in an array. So I want to access this now. And I have to go A, square bracket, row, comma, column. So if I say 0, comma 0. So this is row 0, column 0, which is what? The first one. So if I say 0, comma 2, that is the first row and the third one, which is what? 13. Thank you. The fourth, sorry, 2, comma 1, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, which is what? 32.
Rows first for column.
Yes, look at it. To access an array from an array, I want to access an array from an array. We use the format, the row range and the column range. So now look at this. I want it from, what's the name of that array? A. So we'll be able to see it now. So now I want the whole of, they said this is 0, Abby. The whole of what? Row 0. Abby? The whole of row 0. And I want, because this range, I will take one from this, Abby. Abby? You remember? So I want column 0, column 1. I don't know if you are getting it. Did you get that? This one is for the rows. And since they said row 0, it means everything in what? Row 0. But is it going to be all the columns? They said the column is what? 0 to 2. Know that 0 to 2 now, we'll remove one from this. So it's going to be this column 0 and column what? 1. So that is why the first one I printed has only 1, 1 and what? 1, 2. Look at this one. They said row what? 1. Abi? Row 1. Row 1 is what? This particular place. Abi? But which column am I taking out of this row? He said they are not starting from 0. They're starting from what? 1. Abi? And they will end at what? No? Yeah. They will end at 1 too. Abi? Because I will remove 1 from this. So that it's just like I'll have only one thing as my answer, which is 22. Do you understand? I want row 1. Abi?
From
the first one. Okay. For this answer, this is the answer. For the second one, this is the answer. And for the third one, the whole thing here is the answer. So don't mistake yourself. So now, this first one, what they told me to access is that it has to be the row range and the column range. Abi? Now, the first one now, the row range is what? 0, Abi? 0. It means which range is range 0? The whole thing here. Do you understand? You remember if it was Excel, if I want to go from A1 to A12, I will say A1 to A12. But if I want to select the whole column, I will just say A. So that's why they said row what? 0. But which one of these rows am I taking? So this is row 1, column 1, row 1, column 2, row 1, column 3. Okay. Abi? So now, this is what? For the column place, Abi? I'm starting from 0, Abi? The 0 column, the first column, and I'll stop there because I will remove 1 from that 2. Now look at this one. I'm taking what? This is the 0 row, the first row. So I'm taking this first row, Abi. For the column, what am I taking? I'm not taking the 0 column. I'm taking the first, and I will not take the second column because I will take these 2 minus 1 now. So I'll just end here. For the last one, what did they say? They said from 0 to 3. No, everything. Thank you. 0, 1, 2. And the second one is what? From 1 to what? 3. So I'm not taking what? This column. So I'm taking this, and what? This. Do you understand? Do you understand? Thank you. So now, what are the operations we can do on an array? Look at array A and look at array B. If I say A plus B, you understand what it will do now? Abi? Like, thank you. And if I want to do minus, you understand what it will do? Abi? If I want to do multiplication, you understand what it will do? So it will do 2 times B. What's our B first? It will first do 2 times B. That is 2 times 3, 15, Abi? Then 15 plus A. 15 plus 11. Wait, oh. 2 times B plus C. Okay, what's C? Look at C here. 8, Abi? Abi? What's our B? Our B is 3, Abi? So 2 times 3, 6. 6 plus 8, 14. You understand? You understand what it is doing now? Miss Grace? Okay. Now, to get the elements-wise product of the 2 arrays. So what do? A times B. When I say element-wise, that is the first element times the first element in the other one. Abi? If I have A and B, this one is 33. It means 11 times what? 3. 12 times what? 5. You understand? That's element-wise array. Now, to get the matrix multiplication of A and B, that is the number of columns in A must be the same number of rows in what? B. You remember now? So that is what? Cross product. You remember? So how do I do that? NP dot dot. That dot that we used for the first one worked because it's just one dimensional. If you notice, the way we did it, the dot product, is the same way we do this for cross product. You know how we want to do our cross product for matrices. So I'll say this multiplied by the whole of this. Abi? So I'll say 1 times 0 plus 2 times 1 plus 3 times what? You remember? That's the way I do it. So that's the same thing they are doing here now. So what they are doing now is that you will do the dot product of this. So how do you do the dot product of A and B? It's going to be something like the number of columns in A will multiply the rows in what? In B. And that's how you got it. You understand? So now, you can get transpose too. Transpose. Our A normally. You know the meaning of transpose? You change the rows to what? To columns. Abi? So if I have, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I transpose 1, 2, 3, 4, I will have what? 1, 2, 3, 4. That is, the rows are now what? Columns. And the columns are now what? Rows. You understand? That's the meaning of transpose. So now, if I transpose A and B, what will I have? Look at it. I will have, what is my A? Look at it. Have you seen my A normally? 11, 12, 13. So can you see? It has changed. 11, 12, 13, 21, 22, 23. You understand now? That is the meaning of transpose. So it has changed. So now, I have another array called X. So now, what do I want to do? The number of rows I want is what? 0 to what? 1. Abi? So I'll take this first row and the second row. Abi? So I'm taking the 2 lists. And The what? The rows I'm taking, sorry, the columns I'm taking is what? 2. So that is 0, 1, 2. That is, I'm coming. Do you understand how you got 1 and 2? Okay, I'm coming. Can you see the? Now look at this. Look at this. This is x. Now they want to slice it. This is number of rows, abi? So I'm taking row what? 0, and I'm taking row what? 1,
Slicing by
abi? Then I'll slice by row, column what? 2. This is column what? 0, column, and this column what? 2. What do I have in column 2? 1 and what? 2. That's why we have this what? And if you run this, you have what? 1 and what? 2. Do you understand? So that's actually the end of this class. 4:32. Wow, I love this. That's the end of this class. I thought it was going to take me, but I had to calm down and bring up a script that way that will take care of everything. But you understand the class?
Yeah. It's serious practice.
Yeah. So now let me save this.